Welcome to the mini memory album, page 6 and 7. Today I'll be using Kate's Alphabet, Friendship, Blooming Garden, Ornately Framed, Letter Background, Tropical Gelatos, and the Mini Mixed Media Journal. Remove the pieces from the back of the other page and cover with frisk film to protect. Then wet the page thoroughly. Add snow cone and margarita gelato to the whole of the page. Blend in with your finger and then wet again. You want it thoroughly wet for the next stage. Add rock salt and leave to dry. Once dry, remove to leave this mottled effect. You're now ready to stamp the flowers from Blooming Garden. Take some Stays-On jet black ink and ink up your stamp. Repeat stamp using a post-it note as a mask. Use an anti-static bag to rub over and then stamp your sentiment using Versafine black ink. Add clear embossing powder and heat set. Then use Claudine Hellmuth Studio Extra Time Medium and Studio Landscape Green paint. This is an acrylic paint. The medium helps to extend the time that you can work with the paint and apply to the stems of the flowers. Once this is done, use dab of yellow and yellow pastel and again the Extra Time medium and colour in the actual tulip flowers. I've started off with the dark colour and then I'm feathering in the lighter shade just above, working the colours together. I then go back in with the darker shade and feather it up through again until I'm happy with the result. I'm now going to use Dash of Red and Modern Red with the Extra Time medium. Using the lighter shade of red, the Modern Red, I cover over the rest of the petals. Don't worry about going over the black lines at all at this stage. Again, feathering into the yellow that's already there. Then use the darker red and a bit of the yellow to blend and feather in. And just add tips of the darker red to the tops of the petals and also around the edges and the base. Sorry, my head gets in the way a bit here. Once I have done all three flowers, I then go round the edges with my Pitt Black Artist pen, just to define the shape of the petals and add definition. I then take my letter background and Memento Summer Sky ink, take a little bit of the ink off the stamp and then stamp the top half of the board. I then take Pear Tart and stamp the bottom portion. I wipe off any excess ink from the flowers and that completes one side of the page. I then take Ornately Framed onto a separate piece of card, rub with an anti-static bag and then use Versafine Satin Red Ink to stamp and then emboss with clear embossing powder. I then cut the frame out with scissors and a craft knife. Then take Studio dab of yellow paint with a drop of water and paint over the surface of the frame. I then add gold shimmer spritz to give it that little extra sparkle. Then take the deep scarlet red big brush pen and apply some directly to my craft sheet. Again, I take my gold shimmer spritz and add it to the ink that's on the craft sheet. Then use my finger to mix it together and then use it to add shadow to the edges of the frame. Once I'm happy with the shade that I have on the frame, I'm then ready to create some extra flowers on a scrap piece of card. Again, I'm going to use my StazOn ink and I'm going to colour them with the acrylic paint in the same way as I did for the other page and cut them out. Once they're done, I'm then able to position them onto my frame using dimensional foam. I add dimensional foam also to the back of the frame on 3 sides. This will allow me to slot a photo in afterwards. You can see here I'm actually adding the foam pads to the back of the frame to give it a bit of extra strength around the edges. Once this is done, I then position it on my page and lightly draw around the edge of the inside of the frame with a pencil. I then use Kate's alphabet and my Versafine ink and stamp the word photo here. I always start with the O from photo at the centre. This way I know I get my positioning exactly where I want it. I then rub out the pencil lines, and that is now ready to add my frame, which I will do once the other side is decorated. So now you can see both pages together. Thank you for watching. For further details and more inspiration, please visit my blog at candronicocardcraft.blogspot.co.uk. Please also visit YouTube to see the videos for other pages from this album.